All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to fold a zine or any booklet out of a single piece of paper. There are two sizes that you can do, a smaller one and a bigger one. If you're making the smaller one, use just a regular 8.5 by 11 or A4 piece of paper. The bigger one is with a 11 by 17 piece of paper. For our purposes in this project, the smaller one is going to be a practice zine, and the bigger one is going to be your final zine. But if you're just making a zine for fun, either one is a totally workable size. One is just smaller and one is bigger. I'm going to show you how to fold on the smaller piece of paper because it fits in the screen better. The folding process is the same for both. It's just the size of paper that is different. All right, so first thing that we're going to do is fold the paper in half. Kids like to say, we're going to fold it in half hamburger ways. Just like that. You do want to try and get it as nicely folded as you can. Try to line up the edges and corners the best you can. It's never going to be completely perfect, and that's fine. But do try and line it up as best you can. And you want to have nice, strong creases. I like to use the side of my nail to help make those creases stronger. You can also use the side of the handle of your scissors, works pretty well also. But we want nice, strong creases. That's going to help us later. All right, so I folded it in half hamburger ways, and now I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to fold it in half hot dog ways. So I'm going to fold it in half again this way. Again, I'm going to try and line up my edges as best I can. Again, nothing's ever going to be perfect, and that's okay. And flatten it out, get a nice strong crease. All right, now I'm going to open it up again. And now I'm going to fold so that the edge of my paper touches this vertical center crease of my paper. So I'm folding it in to the middle. I just want to fold it in. I want it to touch that middle crease that I just made when I folded my paper in half. All right, and I'm going to fold down like so. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to fold this side in so that it touches that middle crease. All right, so now I should have 8 sections on my paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections. All right. If you don't have 8 sections, if you have 6 or something like that, you might have folded it incorrectly. You should have 8. All right. Now, this is where it can be a little bit tricky for some people. We're going to fold the paper in half hamburger ways again so that it looks like this. And now I'm actually going to be using scissors to make a cut. But it's very important that I cut in the right place. So if we look at the paper, you'll see that it has an open side, right? A side that is open up, and a side that is closed where the paper is folded. We want to make sure that we are cutting on the folded side and not the open side. Not the open side, the folded side. And we're going to cut along this crease here in the middle. And I'm going to cut from the side in until I reach this vertical center crease. So I'm cutting from here to here. And I'm actually going to mark it with a pencil just so that you can see it better. When you're doing it yourself, you don't need to make this pencil mark, but I'm going to make this mark on mine so that you can see very clearly where it is that you want to cut. All right, so you can see this pencil mark here. Again, on the closed folded edge, not the open side. And I'm cutting from here until I hit the middle where this vertical crease is. All right, so I'm gonna grab my scissors and I'm gonna make that cut. All right, so I'm cutting right here. I wanna make sure I'm cutting through all the paper. And I'm stopping right there in the middle, right? So I've cut through half the paper, not all the way through, just half. And again, on the closed side, not the open side. All right, so I'm gonna open it up now, and I should have a little hole in the middle of my paper, okay? So now, I'm gonna fold it in half again, hot dog ways, and I'm gonna put my hands on either side of the paper, and I'm gonna push the paper together. And you'll see what happens is that this middle part pushes out, right? I'll show you what it looks like from here. Right, so you see how they push out like that? That's exactly what I want to have happen. So I'm gonna push it in, then I'm gonna grab here and here. I'm gonna flatten it out. I'm gonna put it down on my table and I'm gonna press down. I wanna make sure that it's lined up well when I flatten it down. I don't want it to be like twisted like this or like this, right? That can sometimes happen. Make sure you have it all lined up on your edges when you're flattening. So now I'm gonna flatten down so it's nice and flat. Then I'm gonna fold it in half. And I'm gonna push down again. Everything is nice and flat. And that's how I make my small zine, my practice zine, or any little booklet. There will be a little unevenness on the edges. The edges of the pages are not going to line up perfectly. That's okay. It's pretty near impossible to get them to line up completely perfectly. So don't worry about that. That's totally fine. But you should have now your little book with the pages all made out of one piece of paper. So again, this is the smaller size, the practice zine made with a regular size piece of paper, your 8.5 by 11 or letter size. And then this is the one made with your ledger or 11 by 17 piece of paper. And again, you can see the difference. This is about half the size of that one. All right, so this will be your practice zine. This will be the size of your final